Jason Manford has revealed he was once arrested for an incredibly bizarre reason. The actor and comedian, 41, shared for the first time how he was cuffed and thrown in the back of a police van as an adult during a hilarious chat with fellow comic Steve Edge over the weekend. Jason, who gave a heartbreaking family health update earlier today, detailed how the incident happened outside his parents' house during a time period where the star was already one of the nation's most recognizable comedians. He looked back on the incident in great detail, with a humorous take on the ordeal, and even revealed the brazen and cheeky request one police officer had after had been freed. Speaking on his Absolute Radio podcast, Jason was joined by Phoenix Nights star Steve as they enjoyed a chat about irrelevant topics and shared anecdotes, including a discussion about the claim science has discovered attractive people are less likely to be arrested. "I can see how that can work. When you see mugshots of criminals in the paper, they're always Munders, aren't they?" Jason mused before revealing he was once arrested himself. "What did you get arrested for?" Steve asked his pal. Shaking my head in an angry way at a police officer, Jason revealed. "Yeah, it was quite specific and I was only in handcuffs for around 30 seconds, well, for about 5 minutes in the back of a van. I just annoyed the guy," Jason continued, before revealing he was around 27 years old at the time of the arrest. "I was doing stand-up at this point and I was in a nice car on my parents' council estate, so already I looked a bit out of place," he recalled. "I looked a bit like a drug dealer," he laughed. "There was a tactical aid unit and gangs on our roads but nothing had happened so they were all going for it. They'd been sat there for days trying to arrest someone?" Steve pondered. "Yeah, pent up," Jason agreed. "I sort of looked at them and shook my head. My dad was in the car, we'd just come back from a pub quiz at the bowling green and I was shaking my head. This copper came over and knocked on the window and goes, 'You got something to say?' I replied saying I was just talking to my dad," Jason adds, before going on to reveal the officer asked him why he was shaking his head towards him. "There just seems to be a lot of police for this road," the comedian recalls telling the copper, who didn't take kindly to his reply. Jason then tells Steve how the police officer asked him if he was an expert, which prompted the comedian to reply in a way he went on to regret. "I should have shut up at that point, Steve, is what I learned, but," I said, "well, about this road, yeah, because I've lived here all my life." Steve joked how Jason wasn't good-looking enough to get away with being cheeky, referencing their earlier conversation, before Jason revealed how the copper asked him if he was some sort of comedian after the retort. "I said I am actually," Jason remembered, before adding how the police officer ordered him out of the car and began checking the vehicle's details. "The car at the time was registered in my business, not my own name," he explained. "Well, it's not your name, so I'm going to have to arrest you until I can verify who you are and that you own this car," Jason remembers the copper telling him at the time. "Handcuffs on and sat in the back of a van for about 5 minutes until his sergeant came over and told him he was being silly and to let me go," he recalled. Jason then joked how the sergeant then noticed how the star was a famous comedian and asked him if it was possible the comic could sort him out some tickets for an upcoming show. "Not a chance," Jason laughed as he revealed the brazen request. The star's story had a heartwarming conclusion, as Jason remembered how his neighborhood reacted as word out about his arrest. "All the scallies lined the road as the police were leaving and all shook their head," he laughed. Quite a nice little Spartacus moment. Do you have a story to sell? Get in touch with us at webcelebs@mirror.co.uk or call us direct 0207 29 33 033.